So I know this is kind of old news by now, but there was all this hype and discussion around the possibility of Persona 4 getting a remake, with the website domain being registered, and the singer of a lot of Persona 4's OST, Shihoko Hirata, please for the love of God let me be pronouncing that right, posting that she is currently working on music for an unannounced game. It's basically a no-brainer that Persona 4 is getting a remake like Persona 3 Reload. There's a lot of discussion on the topic with different opinions on it, like does it need a remake, should Atlus be focusing on other projects, what would change in the remake, etc, etc. But what do I think of it? As someone who's only just recently completed the game like 3 months ago, do I think it needs a remake? Well, let's get into it. So, does Persona 4 need a remake? Simple, no. Well, that was fast. Even as someone who only just recently played the game, I think it's an amazing game. I've said a million times at this point, but I've started off with Persona 5, and I loved it so much, but I never really tried the other games until Persona 3 Reload came out. So even with no nostalgia glasses on, I still think the game is incredible.
But
I'm still excited for a remake of the game. I think there are definitely things about the game that could be improved or changed up. Obviously, the graphics would be upgrading to modern standards, even though I do kinda like the graphics of the OG game. I don't know, it has a unique charm about it. And obviously, they would upgrade the UI design to be more like Persona 5 and 3 Reload, which would be awesome, because Atlus are gods when it comes to making the UIs and menus for any game look amazing. I think they're like the best when it comes to like making the menus, UIs, and all that look good. I think they're the best at that. But the main thing that would need an upgrade is the gameplay. The gameplay for Persona 4 isn't bad at all, but it can definitely be improved on. I think if you make the game more like Persona 5, it would be awesome. I know some people will hear that and go, oh, you just want it to be another Persona 5. Honestly, yeah. Persona 5's gameplay is the best gameplay in the series, and in my opinion, the best turn-based gameplay out there, so why wouldn't I want it to be similar to that? Obviously, not have it be copy-paste, but take ideas from it and do something different. For example, add shift into the game. Oh my god, playing Persona 5 and 3 Reload and getting so used to like the baton pass and shift, oh my god, it takes so much getting used to not having it in Persona 4. These mechanics make those games play so smoothly and keeps the flow going. It can be the same as in Reload or like something similar to the baton pass in 5, but not as OP, but please add it in. Another thing is to have the team attack speed change up a little bit. In 4, if you have certain characters in your party, they can occasionally do a team attack. Now, I may be stupid, but these just seem to happen randomly when I was playing. Like, I didn't feel like I had any control over when it happened. Maybe only have them be able to activate them after fulfilling certain conditions with each party member, like the theurgy system we Reload. I don't know. Speaking of theurgies, add something like that into the game. Like, have a character be able to do powerful moves or like support abilities after fulfilling certain conditions in battle. That would be badass. Also, make the dungeons like they were in Persona 5. Persona 5's palaces are peak because they are unique and had certain mechanics in them depending on which palace you were in. They're always fun to go through. Even the least good ones are fucking fun. 3's Tartarus isn't the greatest, but there were some things in it that made it a little unique, like having the monad doors in there for players who want a challenge. The dungeons in 4 are just okay. Visually, they're way better than Tartarus and are unique, but it's just going from floor to floor, clearing enemies until you reach the boss. If each dungeon had a unique mechanic in them, like in 5, or like had monad doors or something like that to have like something challenging for the player to go through, or just have them be bigger and making them longer, that would be good because the dungeons in 4 are way too short, so having them be bigger would be amazing. The potential is there for the gameplay. Gameplay aside, what else would need to be changed? Have the social links be fully voiced like in Reload. The fully voiced social links made them hit a lot harder, and honestly, it made them better than if they wasn't fully voiced, because some of the social links in 3, if they weren't voiced, I highly doubt I would be interested in them. Persona 4's social links are already really good, and I think that just making them fully voiced would just make them just that much better. Slight spoiler warning, I guess, but please make Marie better implemented into the story. Marie's involvement in the story was kind of sloppily done. She is a very important character near the end of the game, but the way she was handled in Golden could have been better. Other than that, there's not much that I would change other than gameplay. Like, the story is amazing, the party is amazing, debatably the best party, but you know, I'm a Persona 5 fanboy, so I am biased towards that. One thing I don't want them to do is cut content or lock the Golden content behind a paywall. Please, for the love of God, do not release the game without the Golden content, just to release it as a form of DLC. That is one of the reasons I wasn't the biggest fan of Episode Aegis, because it's not that big of a DLC to sell it separately. Like, it could have been in the base game. It's greedy and it's dumb as fuck to release the game in segments, and I don't like that. Now, do I think that Atlas should be prioritized in other projects? Yes. I would honestly much rather have Persona 6 over a Persona 4 remake. Don't get me wrong, it is exciting to potentially get a 4 remake, and with how well Reload sold, it was obvious that the next game was going to be 4. But come on, Atlas, it's been almost 10 years since 5 originally came out, and we've been waiting forever for 6. Maybe 6 will be revealed sooner or later, because the 30th anniversary of the series is next year, but damn, me, like a lot of other fans, would much rather have Persona 6. And honestly, I would also much rather have a Persona 1 or Persona 2 remake. Those games are almost impossible to play nowadays without an emulator. I haven't played 1 or 2 because it's annoying to try to play because they haven't really re-released the games. When I do get to them, I will emulate them, but it is weird that Atlas hasn't tried to re-release them or remake them. I know Persona 4 is like the most popular Persona game, but still, I think Personas 1 and 2 definitely should either get re-released or remade over Persona 4. But that's just me. Now, when can we expect the remake to drop? Well, if it's like how Persona 3 Reload was handled, we can honestly expect it to be announced around June for Summer's Game Fest, and then release it early to mid 2026. That seems like the most likely answer. Like, next year is the 30th anniversary of the series, so they would probably want the remake in early 2026 and potentially Persona 6 later on in the year, like in October. Please. Overall, I personally don't really think Persona 4 really needs a remake. The game is already an incredible game that holds up extremely well, and I think Atlas should be focusing on other projects like Persona 6. But the idea of it getting one is very exciting, and I am hyped for it, because we could really have something better than the OG if they make the gameplay and dungeons better. That's the main thing for me holding Persona 4 back. Gameplay and the dungeons, they aren't the greatest. They're not bad, but they're not the greatest. But what do you guys think? Do you think Persona 4 needs a remake? Are you guys excited for the potential Persona 4 remake? Do you guys think Atlas should be focusing on other projects? And if we do get the remake, what would you want to be changed or kept the same? Let me know down in the comments below. If you like gaming content, you're gonna want to subscribe because I do that all the time. I do game reviews, and I do have a Twitch for when I do live streams. That's also gonna be in the description down below. But with that, I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.